Every person on that video call was fake, and it cost one company $25.6 million. In January 2024, a finance worker at Arab, one of the largest engineering firms in the world, joined a video conference with his company's chief financial officer and several senior colleagues. The CFO explained that a confidential transaction needed to be processed urgently. The worker followed instructions and transferred $25.6 million across 15 separate transactions. Every detail checked out. The voices were right. The faces were right. The body language was right. But when the worker later contacted head office to confirm, he learned the truth. He was the only real person on that call. Every other participant, including the CFO, was a deep fake, a synthetic video generated by artificial intelligence in real time. Not a single other human being had been on that call. And by the time anyone realized what had happened, the money was gone. Deepfakes get their name from deep learning, the branch of artificial intelligence that powers them. The technology works through a system called a generative adversarial network, or GAN. Two neural networks compete against each other. One generates fake images. The other tries to detect them. They train against each other millions of times until the generator produces output that the detector cannot distinguish from reality. The term deepfake first appeared on Reddit in December 2017, when an anonymous user began posting face-swapped celebrity videos. Within months, open-source tools made the technology available to anyone with a decent graphics card and a few hours of patience. By 2023, the number of deepfake videos online had increased 550% compared to 2019, according to Sensity AI, and the barrier to entry keeps dropping. Modern tools can clone a face from 3 to 5 minutes of source video. Voice cloning platforms can replicate a person's voice from a 15-second audio clip. The technology that once required a research lab now runs on a laptop. The most dangerous deepfakes are not the ones you see in viral videos. They are the ones designed to steal money. In 2019, criminals used AI voice cloning to impersonate the CEO of a German energy company during a phone call with his UK subsidiary. The AI mimicked the executive's German accent, his speech patterns, and his tone so precisely that the UK manager transferred €220,000 without hesitation. He believed he was talking to his boss. That was 2019. The technology has improved exponentially since then. In January 2024, a political consultant named Steve Kramer paid just $150 to create an AI clone of President Joe Biden's voice. The fake Biden was used in robocalls to nearly 5,000 New Hampshire voters, telling them not to vote in the upcoming primary. The message said, quote, "Your vote makes a difference in November, not this Tuesday." The FCC issued a $6 million fine. New Hampshire launched a criminal investigation, but the damage was done. $150 and a laptop were enough to interfere with a presidential election. Deepfake fraud attempts surged 3,000% in 2023 alone, according to identity verification firm Onfido. The World Economic Forum estimates deepfake fraud could cost the global economy $40 billion annually by 2027. But the financial damage is only part of the story. The most widespread use of deepfakes has nothing to do with money. According to research firm Deeptrace, 96% of all deepfake videos online are non-consensual pornography. The victims are overwhelmingly women. In January 2024, AI-generated explicit images of Taylor Swift spread across X, formerly Twitter, accumulating over 47 million views before the platform removed them. One single image stayed up for 17 hours and received 260,000 likes. Taylor Swift has resources, lawyers, and global name recognition. Most victims do not. In South Korea, the crisis reached a breaking point in 2024. Authorities discovered that deepfake pornography was being created and shared in school group chats, targeting teenage girls. Over 500 cases were reported across schools nationwide. Students were creating realistic fake images of their own classmates. The government passed emergency legislation in response. And this is the part that should concern everyone. You do not need to be famous to be targeted. A single photo from a social media profile is now enough raw material to generate a convincing deepfake. The victims are teachers, students, ex-partners, and random strangers. And once those images exist online, they are nearly impossible to fully remove. Governments around the world are scrambling to respond. China became the first major economy to specifically regulate deepfakes in January 2023, requiring creators to clearly label AI-generated content and obtain consent before using someone's likeness. The European Union followed with the AI Act, passed in March 2024, which mandates that all AI-generated content must be labeled as synthetic. In the United States, the response has been fragmented. Over 40 states have introduced deepfake-related legislation, but there is no comprehensive federal law. The Bipartisan Defiance Act, introduced in 2024, specifically targets non-consensual deepfake intimate imagery. The United Kingdom's Online Safety Act, passed in 2023, criminalized sharing non-consensual deepfake intimate images. South Korea's emergency response created some of the strictest penalties in the world for deepfake abuse. But legislation alone cannot solve the problem. The technology evolves faster than the law. By the time a regulation passes, the tools have already advanced to the next generation. The tech industry is fighting back with detection tools. Microsoft released its Video Authenticator in 2020, which analyzes video frame by frame for subtle manipulation artifacts invisible to the human eye. Intel developed Fake Catcher, which claims 96% accuracy in real-time deepfake detection by analyzing blood flow patterns in facial pixels. When you speak, blood flows to your face in predictable patterns. Deepfakes cannot replicate this. A broader industry effort called C2PA, the Coalition for Content Provenance and Authenticity, brings together Adobe, Microsoft, the BBC, and others to develop a content credential standard, essentially a digital signature proving where and how media was created. But the arms race is real. A study from University College London found that human detection accuracy for deepfakes has dropped below 50%. That means the average person is now worse than a coin flip at identifying a fake. There are still telltale signs if you know where to look. Unnatural blinking patterns, misaligned earrings or jewelry, inconsistent lighting on teeth, warping at the edges of the face. Audio deepfakes often have flat emotional range and unnatural breathing patterns. But these artifacts are disappearing with each new generation of the technology. Deepfakes are not a future threat. They are happening right now in courtrooms, boardrooms, and bedrooms. The best defense is awareness. Verify video calls through a second channel. Never trust urgent financial requests made over video alone. Limit the amount of facial and voice data you share publicly. And remember, if something feels wrong, it probably is. If this video opened your eyes, subscribe to Cyber Decoded. Next up, we are breaking down the largest cryptocurrency heist in history.